Hello, howdy ho. Yes, Jeremy. That who I heard? Oh my gosh, Jeremy is Jeremy. So, welcome guys. We are back for more, and yeah, excited. Okay. And I would argue that the submarines are very different from each other, but I guess the different battleship designs are also very different from each other. I just like hide air. This. Hello, Greg. Yeah, I'm having a decent day. I'm having a pretty good day now that you guys are here and Jarby's here. Good to go. Hello, Neil. Halloween. Close on main battery hit. Shells down. Yep, we're relearning, James. I have definitely lost a lot of basic information about this game. Hopefully, you guys are all doing well today. It's been a little rainy and overcast here, which is different than all of summer, where we didn't get any. But I honestly like it because I'm from a much wetter city. Black Friday mission? Hello, I didn't realize you were available. Robert. I mean, it looks the same if you're not looking. I think the visuals are way better. But I can appreciate if you don't value visual.
General quarters.
certainly plays very differently with all the extra additions in the game. Real life. I lost two furry family members over the summer. My mom's got health issues, and my son has health issues. I have health issues, and I got COVID. Yeah, there's a fair amount of things that occurred. I just felt like I didn't care about the game or putting forth the effort towards it.
Enemy force detected.
Over those things. So it was always the thing that I sacrificed. So, I don't know. When COVID, when all that stuff happened, I just don't care about things that I don't care about, and I'll turn it off and on. I owe everything to my family, and I'm not sorry about it at all. So, I guess I'm more invested in my family's well-being, but I'm less invested in the well-being of anyone else around me. So, you know, at the sacrifice of your own family. So, that's where I'm at. I would probably sacrifice too much of my time with my family in the past for things that didn't matter.
Enemy battleship sighted. Target penetrated.
Yeah. Don't have range on that evil submarine. Hello, hello. Any chance of direct chat on YouTube TV? I think it's enabled because I can see people. Is there... Let me check the setting. This is all new to me. Low latency enabled, DVR enabled. Closed captioning, yeah. Do you want a 360 video? Everything seems to be, yeah. Everything looks enabled on my end. Hey, this chat's a lot harder to read than fact. Is there a way like chat? Yeah, that's yeah, let me reading. Nice. Yeah, things are getting better. I appreciate the support. Yeah, it's always hard. It's always hard to lose a furry friend. It's the nature of those things.
Enemy submarine spotted.
It was tough for me. I lost Greta, one of my YouTube notes from the past. She was 13. He lost her brother 5 years ago in 2018 due to cancer, so I'm just hopeful that they're together again, because that's really all I can.
The ship is on fire.
And then we lost a really sweet angel, my soul's dog from a while back, and it's hard. She was blind, basically, born blind. And it's not something that you would ever wish on your enemies, let alone, the sweet fur balls. So that was hard.
Our team is taking the lead.
And she also lost a lot of herself. I'm just hopeful that she's with them. So yeah, it's just been hard. I wish it wasn't so hard, obviously, but that's not what we get from. My kitties are behaving better. So they're doing pretty
Our
good.
team has taken the lead.
Huh, weird. There's nothing on my end. Is it Julie? That would allow me to enable chat specifically for YouTube. Um, it just gives me one option, and I think it's enabled.
The ship is on fire.
If there's, if you know more about it, I would obviously. You would point me in the right direction. I can take it. Hello, Jobby.
Enemy aircraft carrier sighted. Enemy battleship sighted.
Our victory is in sight.
Okay. The Phoenix chunks firing.
Torpedoes dead ahead. Torpedoes to port. We're hull below the waterline. We're flooding quickly.
Okay. Enable YouTube chat. How to enable your chat on YouTube? A chat window during a live stream. Live chat.
We're hull below the waterline. We're flooding
Thank you.
quickly.
Thank you for
Critical
attacking
engine
me while
damage.
I'm doing other things. Aircraft care.
Our victory is in sight. Torpedoes dead ahead.
Oh, that's cool.
Torpedoes dead ahead.
Happy accident there.
Enemy destroyer sighted.
Alright, cool. First win, first game. Yeah, yeah. The fact that the engine cut out there was very convenient. Fine. Jeremy. All right. I am incredibly uncomfortable by the reality of the tier 10 submarines. The variedness in the way that they play is really confusing for surface ships. Do you guys feel like a submarine, the playstyle of the submarine is varied more so than surface ships? Or do you feel like surface ships are just as varied? They just happen to do the same thing, which is fire their guns, so the same sort of mechanic that everyone focuses on. Whereas with a submarine, it's more like just moving torpedoes into position, which, you know, the traversal of the space is unique. Is there like a bonus for doing Transylvania stuff? Oh, this is different. Deal as much damage as you can. Me. There is. Yeah. Message delay, and then no slow mo, live reaction, live commentary. Anyone can participate in any modes. Monetization. On and on. Customs. Stream software. Public. Audience. No, it's not made for kids. Says it's not made for kids. No, don't restrict my video to viewers over only. Oh, that's cool. Show as many viewers. So, yeah, it says that everything is like set up correctly on my end. I'm confused why it doesn't want to work. Oh, why is it made for kids? I didn't make it for kids. Okay, save. There. Okay, so I turned it on and then I turned it off. Game title, that would help. Travis, you're needy right now. I love you, but I need my desk. So you need to sit on me. Okay. So I enabled and disabled the child thing. What do you see as an option, Julie? Should be available, potentially. No, yeah. Again, no, it's not made for kids. Age restriction advanced. No, don't restrict my video to viewers over 18 only. To adult audiences, no. The stream contains paid promotion, product or placement. Allow automatic places. Help viewers explore places. Allow automatic content. Closed caption. This content is never aired on television. Okay. Yeah, no, it seems to be correctly enabled on my end. So that's really concerning to me because that means I can't fix it. Alright. So we just gotta get some damage. Deal damage as you can every time you complete a challenge. So yeah. We're gonna play a hard mode. I feel like the tier 10 submarines are varied such an extreme that it's hard to compare them to one another in like a counter submarine play because they're so different. For example, the Gato doesn't have homing torpedoes past 6 kilometers, aka it cannot deal with a submarine outside of 6 kilometers. So whenever you're playing against this particular submarine, the best thing that you can do tactically as a team is have your team's submarine, because I can guarantee it's better than this submarine, going on a direct intercept to take this guy down. Because he is so weak in the anti-submarine role that he will be forced to either call support, which could then be, exploited, or he's just going to be inept and he'll be unable to perform what he's attempting to do. It basically comes across as like a better Japanese, oh my god, cat. I want my mouse pad. I want. So yeah, like the, is it Balau? How do they pronounce this in the Navy? Damn it. Sammy. The cats are so needy right now. God, they're so needy. 1 second. Alright. Let's play a game. So yeah, I think that honestly, with the submarines, I think that people just don't know enough against them because they are so varied. Like for example, this U-4501, it moves faster underwater than it does on the surface because of the way that its propulsion is set up. So it's really weird. Really weird. So, the U-4501, very fast underwater, very slow on the surface. So, he's going to avoid playing on the surface if he knows. Or he should. That's the thing, is the gameplay is so varied in the way that the traversal mechanics are designed for them. That's kind of how the submarines are characterized in this game, is their traversal method is varied by a very large margin. It's not just that, you know, the ship moves 3 or 4 knots faster or slower. It's that it can only do this in a certain scenario, and it has to consider energy as a resource that generates when it's on surface, but it can't generate this at any other depth. So, how do you manipulate that to your advantage? Could you manipulate that to your advantage? You know, all these different things that have to go into, like, the thought process in playing them. I, of course, am drawn to submarines for many reasons. I don't really care how effective they are in this game. Not really why I'm drawn to them. I have historically enjoyed the concept of submarines, so that's something that is appealing to me. Alright, so I like to open up with my subs the same way. I like to get to about halfway for detection, and then I like to go to the 30-meter depth and activate hydrophone. This is going to give me information about any surface ship that may be in my area. And in doing that, it will allow me to know that there's no imminent threat on this flank. Huh. Weird.
Enemy force sighted on the horizon. Enemy battleship sighted.
There's so many fish in the water. Why would there be this much fish hanging out by a submarine? That's one of those weird changes that they made to the game. I guess is cool.
Torpedoes to starboard. Torpedoes direct front. Torpedoes to starboard. Torpedoes dead ahead. We're hull below the waterline. We're flooding quickly. Problem solved, sir.
Off to a great start. We sunk an enemy destroyer.
Alright. Get back up on the surface. Let's regen. There's clearly a submarine here.
Commander, we've been detected. Torpedoes, dead ahead. Low battery. Enemy submarine destroyed.
Love me the anti-sub. All right. Recharge.
All stations, reporting the position of a strategic target.
Okay, so we've got a couple battleships with a enemy destroyer just smoked up. I'm gonna regen some battery, and I think I'm gonna dive to hydrophone depth to help the Humphreys, who hopefully is gonna disengage. Boy, that rudder really helps with sub versus sub. How quick and tight it can turn versus using that propulsion mod. Propulsion mod's okay for stationary play, but that's not where we're trying to make our money. All right, so we're diving below the water. I'm gonna do a hydrophone ping. Poor fish. They probably can't hear themselves think. It's so loud underwater. Cats make so much noise, man.
Grazie mille.
Low battery.
Requesting support.
We gotta work on our battery. Need to be up.
Dash it all.
Okay, we're the submarine on the other side is killed. That's good. So we don't have to focus on that. Enemy team's moving back, which is the right call. In this situation, the enemy team's best play is to give ground. We are attempting to capture this base, which, you know, contesting it is worth it, but losing a minnow because you moved up isn't. So that does suck for them. And yeah, they obviously can't put any pressure in this area because they lost the friendly submarine. They lost at least one DD and the minnow, which would have been a great anti-destroyer, but died. So I'm just gonna sail over towards B point. I'm gonna capture it as quickly as I can. So the way that the mainline Tier 10 American submarine is played is it has the best hydrophone range. It has not the best torpedo homing range, but I think second best torpedo homing range. And it's usable range. It's not just like 6 to 7 kilometers. It's 12-kilometer torpedo homing. The dumbfire torpedoes are only 10 kilometer. Still very useful though for, you know, those stealth runs. But honestly, stealth runs, you don't need to do that, nor is it something that you could rely on against a good player with good, like, early warning detection. Well, they're going for the target that's actually a threat, so that's good. Just gonna put this AFK out of his misery.
Enemy battleship sunk.
Definitely does not want anything to do with the potential threat. Nope, 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 no. Not a fan at all of us. We ping basically where that little fire lit up. Nothing you can do, Viking.
Enemy battleship foundered.
Torpedoes to starboard.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is, like,
Ends in 5 minutes.
I think those premium submarines are powerful, but they're really one-dimensional, and I think that's gonna be the criticism going forward. Honestly, I think they probably overbuffed the initial submarines in the utility side. They just do everything, pretty much.
Our victory
Victory is in sight. Our team has taken the lead.
It probably feels like this is like the most helpless little thing you can do. He's getting constantly pinged by something he can't do.
Commander, we've been detected. Hull breach. We're taking on water quickly. The ship is on fire. Problem solved, sir.
All those fishes! Just instantly killed. Like hundreds of fish. These schools of fish that apparently follow closely behind submarines. Okay, we're just gonna settle under.
Commander, we've been detected.
Goodbye, sir. He sunk 5 ships. Kraken unleashed. All right. Baba was a good player too. Okay. So obviously we just played the mainline American. Now we're gonna play the Gato. This is the premium American that was introduced. So the differences are 6-kilometer range homing torpedoes. I think like 13 and change dumbfire torpedoes. 16.5, sorry, 16.5. Which makes it a very front-loaded assault submarine. It is very bad against other submarines because of the lack of range. So, if you were in this particular submarine, I'm gonna obviously play as an example, it would stand to reason that you would either overinvest in team play to help you with an enemy submarine, or you would avoid them completely because you're just not built like that. This one has the ability to recharge its torpedoes. 3 versus 2, which the main line... There's so many variables, I just have to say. If you list them out on paper, there's about 20 different differences. And this is in like 0.1 kilometer better range. Like, that's a real difference. No, we're talking about... It literally recharges an extra torpedo that the main line doesn't even have an option to do. And how does that you know, affect the way that you approach a situation. It's very, I mean, it just really is varied by such an extreme that it's hard to look at them and say they do the same thing, quite honestly. I guess you would feel that way about like radar or something like that. I'm gonna add an ad break here. All right, so once again,
Battle starts.
super short range homing torpedoes, super long range non-homing torpedoes. Still has access to 9-kilometer range hydrophone, which is really nice. But this is gonna feel really uncomfortable against other submarines and honestly any ship within, I would say, between 6 and 10. It's gonna feel really awkward. That range is gonna feel really weak. So we're just gonna take this ship out so we can directly compare with the previous submarine and hopefully do two things. Obviously understand the differences, but also have a strategy built go up against this type of submarine versus the other type. So once again, we go underwater, we go to maximum depth, and we activate our hydrophone. This is not different at all. Same. American hydrophone's really nice. So definitely want to use it. But we can't do anything dumbfire from this distance. There's a low probability of hit. And of course, have an enemy submarine on the surface. Check.
Enemy cruiser sighted.
All right. There. A submarine. Oh, he's gonna take some damage. Ooh, 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 ooh. He's gonna take 2 there. One on his nose. Ooh. Oh, he's trying to dodge the second one. Oh, unsuccessful. Unsuccessful. So this one is gonna try and avoid all of those submarine plays that the other one was. Oh god,
All
Max.
stations reporting the position of a strategic
We knocked out
target.
his
All
motor.
stations
That's just
reporting the position
really
of a
tough.
strategic target.
Teamgenoot, ik heb je hulp nodig.
Okay. I don't know why he decided to hide himself. Okay, we got the Venezia. That's all that matters. That was a poor play by the smoker, though, because we were
Torpedoes to
spotting
port.
for our team so they could do damage.
Torpedoes to port.
much more close in.
Concentrate fire on the designated target.
Feuer auf gegnerisches Kriegsschiff konzentrieren.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Hull breach. We're taking on water quickly.
Our team is taking the lead.
Montana, not a fan. He's not a fan of the constant dumbfire torpedoes. Alright. Enemy submarines knocked out. That was the primary anyway. I'm gonna go take a
All
point.
stations, proceed to capture that area. Problem solved, sir.
Looks like the east side has a lot of push too. But right now we just need to focus on capturing.
Concentrate fire on the enemy warship.
Denied. Okay.
I also feel like the submarine surveillance is 1-to-1 on this, whereas on the American Tier 10, wow, Baleo, the ball, that has, I think, 8-kilometer range anti-submarine detection, which is very nice. Okay, so base was captured. Where's the Chinos? Chinos. Based on how this ship is designed, it's pretty obvious why it's so island-centric in the way it hides. Because it has to be. Has to rely more on ambushing than on using the homing mechanic so that the surface ship has something to attack. Now, against this type of submarine, you might never know they exist in the area. And that's pretty dangerous. You have to rely on radiolocation of a friendly cruiser or destroyer, and potentially hydrophone from a submarine. So if you don't have access to any of these, it's basically like punching your shadow. You're never gonna hit that shadow. So you can't rely on countering the shadow. You have to rely more on developing a foolproof strategy against the shadow that will allow you to have influence on the match. Tough. What you doing, friend?
Concentrare il fuoco sulla nave nemica.
I think the root beer boy is being a little greedy.
Commander, we've been detected.
Clearly we're greedy too.
Commander, we've been detected. Commander, we've been detected. We're hull below the waterline. We're flooding quickly. The ship is on fire.
Good ambush, good ambush. Maybe they felt like they knew where I was potential for detection.
Problem solved, sir.
Okay. It's tough. I think that was exactly what they needed to do, is make use of hydrophone or hydroacoustic search against this type of submarine. This type of submarine really relies on being like hyper aggressively moving around the map, and it's gonna try and round island aggressively, so it's gonna lend itself to getting into traps. So yeah, it does have the same distance for submarine surveillance, but the homing effect is still nice, and it can go past the 6 kilometers, whereas the premium tier 10 American submarine, you can't home past your 6 kilometer range submarine surface. So if you're playing against this submarine, the opposing submarine just needs to ride that line between 6 and 8, maybe 5 and 7, plus or minus 1 kilometer in the homing, so that they can effectively engage this guy and force him to, compromise his position so he can't aggressively push and dump all those high damage torpedoes. This honestly ends up feeling like a better submarine compared to the I-56, which is effectively the same style. It's a dumbfire platform with terrible homing torpedoes. This one is a little bit more on the side of like reasonable. Like it's not too unreasonable, whereas the I-56 is just unreasonable. All right. And then you have the Germans, which they're even more different in the way that they approach the problem. And this is another extremely varied option that is present for German Submariner, if they so choose. You have the mainline 2501 or the premium 4501. 4501 excels at underwater speed. It's terrible on the surface. The 2501 is a little bit more 50-50. It's much better than the U5 on the surface, but it's not terrible underwater. It's just nowhere near as fast as the 4501 underwater. So let's just take them out so we can take a look and compare them. So the submarine surveillance, this is a great opportunity. The Germans excel at their submarine surveillance, which is anti-submarine. And because of that, a German is always going to look for that matchup against the Gatto or that I-56 because it has such a huge advantage. Not quite the same advantage against the American, because yes, you would drop detection, 6 versus 8 kilometers. But you could still have a homing effect on the target outside of the 6 kilometers on the mainline American below. And due to that, it feels less all in on that particular design concept. So only one opposing submariner. He is the underwater god. So I need to try and maintain underwater supremacy, force him to the surface in order to make him at his weakest form. How am I going to do that? Well, I'm going to do the same things that we always do. I almost don't want to use my hydrophone because it's gonna tell my team where he is, so they could potentially force him below. I don't know. I need to wait on submarine surveillance before I can attempt to use that as an advantage. Thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you are enjoying this. I'm trying to get back into understanding the game so I can talk about it more. Great content. Detected. Start going underwater as the aircraft goes over your ship detection. And we're going to stay underwater until the aircraft is confirmed out of the area. Roger, something's there.
Gegnerische Streitkräfte entdeckt.
Torpedos auf Steuerbord. Torpedos direkt voraus. Torpedos auf Steuerbord. Torpedos auf Steuerbord.
Das gegnerische Team hat die Führung übernommen.
Something. Okay, we're gonna do another hydrophone. Clearly a submarine. I think he went below. Okay, we're gonna just chill for a second. Seconds, then we can act. Alright. Yesterday, I actually rammed a submarine underwater with my submarine, and I got a die hard. I'm just gonna chill underwater. Okay. Ooh. Man, he's fast. Wow, he's fast. Look at that sucker go. Look at him go. Wow.
Wasser dringt schnell ein.
That's crazy. The homing effect on the Germans is definitely noticeably slower. Gotta regen. Okay, so the opposing submarine is underwater. He's using his anti-submarine detection. We'll use this as an opportunity to regen.
Affirmative. Good show.
And that homing takes a while to get out there. It's much harder to land. Oh, we're gonna land all our torpedoes, so that's cool.
Kapitän, wir wurden entdeckt. Feindliches U-Boot gesichtet.
Torpedos Achterhaus! Torpedos Achterhaus! Torpedos auf Backbord! Höhlenbruch! Wasser dringt schnell ein! Feueralarm! Problem gelöst! Feuer auf festgelegtes Ziel konzentrieren! Feuer auf gegnerisches Kriegsschiff konzentrieren!
Come on, sink that, baby.
Gegnerisches Schlachtschiff gesunken! Torpedos Achterhaus!
Vermont got us. Good kill, Vermont. Stuff. I needed to pay more attention to my surroundings for that. Okay, so we're gonna do the German 4501 because it's a good comparison to what is potentially offered with the Germans. Yeah, almost that sonar ping because it's harder to land than I would like it to be. So it limits my options. But anyway, the U-4501 is basically a version of that, but it moves a lot faster underwater than it does on the. Oh. This is a hard one to compare. Alright, so notice right away that you can see the biggest difference. It doesn't have dumbfire torpedoes. So it relies on either dumbfire homing or homing. It should be very good in the anti-submarine movement because it's so fast.
Alle Mann auf Gefechtsstation.
Not terrible on the surface. It's just it feels like a big battleship. Actually.
Gegnerische Streitkräfte am Horizont gesichtet.
Torpedos voraus! Torpedos voraus! Torpedos auf Steuerbord! Torpedos auf Steuerbord! Gegnerisches Schlachtschiff gesunken.
Oh.
Concentrate
enemy warship.
Man, it goes really fast underwater. Torpedo reloads really fast. Improve the sonar ping velocity would be better.
Torpedos voraus.
For some reason, it got a repair party. I don't know why it got a repair party.
Torpedos direkt voraus. Alle Stationen, brauche Feuerunterstützung. Torpedos voraus.
Kapitän, wir wurden entdeckt.
Torpedos direkt voraus.
You can never get out of that detection bubble. The downside of this particular ship, all day match. Don't have 20-kilometer range guns to attack the other side of the match. I get to hang out and watch it. Do, sailing away.
Teammate, I need your support.
And I'm like, as fast as I can. Well, I guess I could go underwater to go faster across the map. See how this goes. When does the effect take place? Only when I'm fully underwater, I think. Man! Look at the speed it's gaining underwater. I cannot believe how fast this thing moves underwater. Okay, we're gonna contest. So fascinating that it's so much faster. Slip track. I've been watching way too much racing.
Gegnerischen Kreuzer gesichtet.
Edge. No edge. Yeah, I definitely think I want to invest in the sonar ping velocity for these guys. Now we're just gonna head over towards this buff. It's not quite as close as I initially thought. Oh, immediately.
Torpedos direkt voraus.
Well played, well played. This game should be over soon. Fortunately, it was a smaller game. Probably the super
Unser Team
ships
hat die Führung
and my
übernommen.
fault.
Unser Sieg ist in Sicht.
Alright. So, the point of the last couple games was just to compare and contrast the way that the Tier 10 submarines work with each other. And obviously, it's really incredibly varied. They are so different that it's really hard to compare them directly to each other. Some are better against surface, some are better against submarines, and some are hybrid against both. Forward, reverse, consumables. All of the traversal, all of it very interestingly different. U4501 has that super underwater speed, which is pretty unique. and definitely an interesting option. Probably would be really fun against opposing submarine, given the right situation, because you can just run away from them. Look at how much speed this thing gains. Gonna get to 32. 33. 34. So you don't want to ram the underwater island. It really needs to go in a straight line. You notice that? Notice how much speed it drops whenever it's turning. So if you can force it to turn, it's probably your best bet. Okay. So we did a little bit of subplay there, just to try and compare those guys. I would like to play other shit. I'm working on main battery hits with battleships, so we could play a battle. Wow, I couldn't see the chat. How long has the chat been there? So annoying. Know your upgrades. Yeah, Mr. Rogers. It's in the game and half the team sunk. Yeah. Hello, guys. Sorry I missed your chat. That's so weird. Yeah, I play Gato. 5-0. I can't. That's so weird that I couldn't see the chat. Ugh, it's so annoying. Okay, so yeah. The Germans do have slightly better concealment on their submarines, but you can play Americans or the Germans similarly concealed. But yeah, the Gato is like the supreme dumbfire submarine, anti-surface ship submarine at tier 10. Gives up everything in order to be able to do that. It's terrible against submarines. It's terrible against smaller surface ships like light cruisers and destroyers and stuff like that. Yeah. Not your fault you let everyone down. Yeah. But yeah, now let's play the Bungo. Bungo is basically a 30mm Japanese battle cruiser. It has about 2 kilometers better concealment than equivalent Yamato at this tier, and it has this activatable accuracy, which is really good, and definitely encourage you to use it whenever you get an opportunity to exploit the accuracy of the ship. I've been enjoying this ship. I was away for its entire process of inclusion into the game. Obviously, I think it's still early access, so everything that I'm saying is more from my experience, necessarily not really looking at the stat line to suggest one is better or worse than any other. But because it is a battle cruiser, it has better concealment than a battleship. It has worse bow armor, 25 versus the typical 32 or more. Its accuracy on the paper doll wasn't very impressive, but be the extreme range that it has compared to other equivalent battle cruisers. But I've played it, and I've had some really great situations that have come up. And one time I was going up against to Des Moines, and when I was engaging the Des Moines, I was able to catch him side on, and I activated the accuracy skill, and I got really good damage.
前方に魚雷確認前方に魚雷確認
How many?
左舷から魚雷接近
St. Vincent, I don't know what you're doing. He's also a battle cruiser. A lot. He's the quickest on everything outside. Is the HE really good? It's not what I would initially patch. Another submarine bites the dust. Playing good action. That just seems weird. Wouldn't you? I guess for HE accuracy to light fires.
観測機起動中
Okay. Set fire to part. Missed out on that fire chance there.
Союзники, передаю
Okay.
координаты важной цели.
I really do like the concealment though on this type of ship. Turrets seem to traverse a little bit quicker than Yamato. Everything traverses quicker than Yamato. Your mom last night traversed quicker than Yamato.
All stations, concentrate
Like,
fire on the target.
I would like you to picture the slowest ship traverse in the game. Picture it in your mind. Beauty. If we can get another shot on him. Ellen. Second. Oh, I guess there was a little gap there.
Держите огнем по указанной цели.
全艦目標に攻撃を集中せよ。観測機起動中。前方から魚雷接近。右舷に魚雷確認。前方から魚雷接近。喫水戦火に被弾。急激に浸水しています。主機損傷。航行不能。
Overpinned city there.
対応完了しました。
Huh. Looks like he's coming in, so we're gonna turn around. Have our guns pointed in that direction. Hopefully he didn't move. No, he didn't move.
敵巡洋艦の撃沈を確認。
That's what I thought. I thought he was slowing down. Let's still avoid. Aww.
観測機起動中。
They took out that submarine. just find DD. So loud. Devastating strike. Who knows? Too many enemies on the field. Too many enemies on the field. Yeah, it's good. It's definitely better than I expected. Sorry, oops. It's definitely better than I expected. It's very much, you know, like undetected, 457, high accuracy. That is the tier 10 in a nutshell, and it feels great. It really does feel great. Add an add. Okay. I would love to be able to sap damage. It's been a bit. I'd love to just sap obliterate a submarine. Few things are as fun as getting that submarine slap